right, time for another one here. So we got a Luminaire house. I'm starting to chew on this. It's two parts. We've got the sort of lit like blade sign illuminated that goes around the fence or whatever. Think surf lock. That's on step. I'm going to be working on that next. But I wanted to go ahead and get these directionals out. So you got these little small guys, you got two mediums, and then you have this corner size here. That in the 11th hour got short, sort of skinnied up, but raised taller. So that's all been updated. So we're all good. So I'm calling this one the corner just because it has a hard 90. Whether it goes on a corner, I'm sure it does because it's got, two sides. And then you've got the bigs and the smalls, the biggie smalls. So I went with the G out of bigs. So there's two of these. So all the parts with the G on them, they will have that's for the bigs. And then, yeah, everything with a C is for corner. And then everything with an S will be smalls. So just look out for that. So with that being said, let's get after it. So we got the lay of the land here. So stuff fits on one page. It's all good. So you got the frame pieces for the bigs. You got your jigs. And then you got your front skins and your back skins. There's quantity 2 for those. And then we have quantity 4 here. So you've got your smalls. You got the jigs and everything good to go. You got your front skins, back skins. Do 4 of those. Good to go. There's only one corner, obviously. So you got everything you need for the frame. Got your skins, back, front. And then you have your jigs. So that's all good there. And then the corner will be sort of have like a little modified Mjolnir. It has a removable bottom post. So you'll have everything you need there. That should look pretty familiar. So now let's talk with, we'll start with the corner. So really kind of think Charasso corner frame, but a little different because this, the Charasso frame couldn't have any structure inside of it. So this is the opposite. We've got ourselves structure, so it's a little easier to make. But essentially what you're going to be making is like 2 separate frames. They're roughly 3.5 inches deep. They're 3.5 total with the skins on. But basically you're just going to put together these 2 frames. And the only thing that will be different about the frames is that they'll have just this front part that sticks out. So this part here will be like a standalone frame. And then you're going to make another standalone frame. And then the only thing that's going to kind of come together is the jig is going to slide into both of them. And haven't quite done this before, but so I clearanced these 2 verts right here to allow that corner brace to work its way into both of them. Then you can see here in the green, this is where that brace or the jiggy comes across. So you'll be able to tack that to that jiggy. And then the jiggy is essentially going to hold them together semi-temporarily. If you want to throw some tacks on the inside where these 2 come together, you see these frames will touch. If you want to throw some tacks there, sure, just to help align it. But also what's going to happen is once the skins go on there, it's going to help kind of hold it all together. But you might be able to just run your gun down there and just go on that 90 all the way along if you want. But once you have it all together, then it's just going to be a matter of putting your skins on. The skins will do all the work. Because we're going to be able to fold and bend this as one, and that corner will be nice and strong. You're not going to have to mess with that fiddly stuff like you did with Churrasco. The reason why we had those fiddly corner pieces like here and here, they had the Lords, is because we had no structure. So that was literally all that was going to be holding it together until we got the faces screwed on. But because the face is going on in one piece, it's going to be a little easier. So you're going to have just kind of a front cavity here. And then once you get that, you're going to Lords that on there. And it should be nice and strong. Now the face, go ahead and Lords it on. You're good to go. When it comes to the backside, you do need to follow. I have Lords first and I have Lords second. The reason why is that these skins are going to be tucking into the back corner into each other. Now, if you were to kind of just have them bonk like this, there could be a chance this doesn't meet up right and you could kind of tell. So anytime, and you take this is like when you're cutting trim and baseboard around your house. Anytime you come to a corner like this, you want to cope it. So you want to make sure one goes long, the full length, and then you want to butt this one up against. But the only thing is you got to make sure you do it in the proper order. Otherwise you're caught out. So let's not do that. So that's the only thing is when you go to put these on, look for Lords first. It's literally an 09 longer, then it's Buddy. And then that one comes on second and that's going to tuck in. And this guy's going to win. This guy's going to be the submissive. You know what's up. So you got the in there and you got the in there. Make sure they go into the corner. It should be good to go. Getting a little ahead though. You do have some 193s. So you're going to just like we do, like you're just doing right now. with the big Riverside Fairgrounds. You're going to do a couple of these, do some inside riv nuts or weld nuts, 1/2 inch weld nuts. Those go inside 193 them. They do fit just right in between the jiggies. So you don't weld the jiggies yet. Get it all put together. Get this thing welded up. Put it inside 193 it. And that way you can weld it to the jiggies and you can actually weld it to the base as well. So you'll have those two. Those guys go inside and then they will match up to our kind of modified Mjolnir plate. So that'll be that. So you want to do that first, got a little ahead, then you do your skins last. But pretty straightforward there. But again, you're just going to start with 2 separate frames and then bring them together. Now you might, I don't know if you're going to be able to slide this on with this jiggy. So you might be able to assemble it with the jiggy sticking out and then bring this in. Or you might have to create a ladder frame with the 2 braces and these 2 guys. And then these 2 top pieces here, you might have to cleco them to the jiggy and then bring that top piece down. I don't know. So you'll have to kind of see how that goes together. It's a little different than what we've done in the future or in the past. It is the future. So anyway, so just look for that. Look for bottom, look for top. Make sure you don't get them confused. So that's going to be corner. That's it. Weld that up. I do have a cut list for both, for all three. So you have 36 for the corner. You have 62s. That's 3x3 for the 2 bigs. And then because the little guys are so much skinnier, you're going to have 1.5 by 3. So you're going to have to raid your bighorn stop sign stash. And you got 4 48s. So you're just going to burn that 36 to this. And that gets set aside. You're all good to go. So that'll be corner. Boom. This was the size of it before. Just ignore that. I didn't want to get rid of it, but it's shrunk by 4 inches on both sides. Now the bigs and the smalls are essentially, you can see here where this is like the top view and this jiggy is 90. So imagine just stretching this out and only going to 10 degrees, except instead of top and bottom, it is now the top of the corners would be now the sides of this guy. So you're still going to end up with 2 frames, but instead the frames are going to be the top and the bottom, not 2 frames that come together to create a corner. So I call these the 1 and the 2. So the 2's on the bottom, 1's on top. And so that way you kind of know which parts go with which. And it's going to be the same system, except the jigs are going to be on the side now instead of top and bottom, but it's the same thing. And I clearanced these guys in order to be able to allow that jig to work its way through the bend. So again, you're just going to go ahead and make 2 frames that are separate from each other. I wouldn't weld the post in yet, but get all that taken care of. And then you'll just have this little bit sticks out, and then the jig will hold this together. Not sure if you're going to be able to get your gun into this little pocket here. Not sure if it's necessary. I wouldn't worry about it too much if you don't have to. Then once you get the jigs in there, get it all tacked to itself. There's no 1/4 inch or anything in this one, nothing funny. And then you're just going to take your post, slide it all the way up, bonk it, and tack it in nice. Make sure it's nice and strong. Good to go. I'm giving you an 09 cap as well, so cap it up. Jim made the comment of, these will be kind of in public. People might sit on them. People might act a fool. So let's make sure it's kind of burnt nice. Get it burnt up the top here. And then hopefully we'll dig a good footing because they might have to put up with some shenanigans out in the public. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, you want to make sure they're nice, built strong like that. So top frame, bottom frame, jiggies hold it together, tack it all together, throw your post in there, burn it up. Then same thing. You're just going to bend. The front will be one piece, so there's no seam. So make sure you got your clamp on one side, clamp the proper side, get it to bend to 10 degrees. This is a 10-degree bend. And let me just do that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there for you. 10 degrees, that way you know what's up. It's kind of 98 degrees. So when you go to bend it, so there you go. That'll be on your reference. And these are 40. 40. Real time, baby, real time. There you go. All right, so that's what you want to bend that skin to. It's 40 degrees and 10 degrees. We got to make a match. Come on now. We got 18. Let's give it a 20. There you go. All right, so there you go. So that's it. So you want to bend this to 10 or a little more, just right. And then lords the face on. And then you don't have to worry about these do not overlap because they're only butting against each other barely on a 10 degree. So they're fine. So you can just put them in any order, but I would make sure you get a little bit of squish inside there to kind of close up this little air pocket you're going to have when you bring these two skins together on the backside, and then just do a scrape party. Make sure it's scraped clean. So that'll take care of that. So you got 2 of those, get those nailed down, good to go. You got 4, just a lot smaller. Because it's skinnier, these are only 2.5 inches. So this is 1.5 inches by 3 posts to slide up, but same thing. You're gonna have yourself a separate little topper. You're gonna have yourself a separate little bottom, and then bring them together. You can see the angle's a lot more pronounced. So maybe you can get your gun in there if you have to. Again, I don't know if you'll have to. These are pretty small. And then get your jig in there. And then before you close it up, slide it up. And these will be sittable. These are, like I say, they're only going to be about 30 inches. So people will probably lean against these. So we want to make sure we got a good piece of stick, close it up, and hopefully we get some good crete. And same thing, no bend, put the face on, and then doesn't matter what order for the backs. Just make sure they're all good. So you got 4 of those. And so that's pretty much it. I just wanted to get these cracking, but I just wanted to point out a few little funky things to them, but I think you guys got these down. And like I said, illuminated, I'm going to be working on that tomorrow. Get cracking, that's on step, so be prepared. Otherwise, good luck. We're all counting on you. Keep killing the game. Hit me up if you have any questions.